Dr. Alcott, we are live.
Okay, thank you very much, Sam. So I'll wait for everybody to appear, and it looks like we have everybody. So at this point, I would like to call the meeting to order at 1 p.m. and to welcome everyone today. The meeting is being held electronically in accordance with Section 238 of the Municipal Act 2001. And the procedures for the meeting are as per the town's procedural bylaw and the electronic meeting protocol during emergencies. And at this point, I think I can confirm that we do have full quorum. With that, I would also like to respectfully acknowledge that we are on the traditional territory of the Anishinaabeg under the terms of the Robinson-Huron Treaty number 61 of 1850. And the Williams Treaties of 1923. We commit to acknowledge, learn, educate, create opportunity, honor sacred places, and take actions toward real truth and reconciliation in support of our commitment to walking the path together in respect, peace, and harmony for future generations. And with that, I will go to our next item, which is, I do have a motion to adopt the agenda, and that motion is moved by Councillor Stone, seconded by Councillor Wiebe. It is recommended that the Planning Committee agenda dated June 16th, 2021 be hereby adopted as printed and circulated with the removal of item 7.1 on the agenda. Any questions? No questions? All those in favor? And that carries. Thank you. Are there any disclosures of pecuniary interest? Seeing none. Moving right along here. Okay. Okay. So we are moving right along to agenda item number 8, which is reports from municipal officers. And we're going directly to you, Richard, with a report on the telecommunications tower proposal at 100 Howland Drive.
Excuse me, Madam Chair.
Yes.
Can we mention that the previous application was withdrawn so that attending would be aware
I
of it?
apologize. I did mention it in the motion, but I guess I should have.
If you don't mind.
Sorry, thank you for reminding me. All right, for those who may be attending this meeting, and I gather there probably are quite a few, certainly there was a lot of interest in the agenda item 7.1. That item has been withdrawn, as I just mentioned in the motion to adopt our agenda. It was withdrawn from, we had a letter from the Muskoka Conservancy and that they asked that this application be withdrawn. Would you like to speak to that, Kirsten? Anything more that I've missed? So we have dutifully respected that request, and I believe the Conservancy will be issuing a press release sometime today if they haven't already. And with that, so that item will not be dealt with today, and maybe never. So there you go. Is there anything else I should add there, Kirsten? Okay, good. All right, with that, we are now, since that was actually, I should mention, that was our only item under our public meeting section of our planning committee. I don't think we've ever had a meeting before where we were actually ending up with no applications under public meetings. Highly unusual. And there we go. So with that, we are now moving into our section 8, which is reports from municipal officers. And I will ask Richard Clark if you could speak to our first item. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll just start sharing my screen. So I'm wondering if you can see the presentation slides.
Not yet.
Oh.
Now.
Okay.
Yep. Great. All right.
So through you, Madam Chair, the subject property is located at 100 Howland Drive. The lands are located within the Muskoka Commerce Park employment area and house the Holiday Inn Express and Suites. The lands are approximately 0.55 hectares in area with 73 meters of frontage onto Howland Drive. They're designated industrial in the town's official plan and are zoned Muskoka Commerce Park. Approval of telecommunications facilities falls under the jurisdiction of Industry Canada, but they require proponents of a new telecommunications facility to consult with the municipality, follow any public consultation processes established by the municipality, and determine whether or not the municipality concurs with the application. So what we have before us is actually a concurrence request. So due to the potential for land use conflicts, impacts on significant views and vistas, and impacts on ecologically sensitive areas, Council adopted a protocol in 2012 to guide the review of concurrence requests. The town's protocol established process that incorporates requirements above and beyond Industry Canada's default public consultation process, and it also provides criteria for exemption from public consultation if that applies. Oops. So again, this is the Holiday Inn Express and Suites on 100 Howland Drive. And the proponent, I suppose, is Rogers. It would be a Rogers tower, and they're proposing to install a 45-meter tall lattice structure, tri-pole style tower, telecommunications tower. The tower would be located more than 300 meters from the nearest residential dwelling and not adjacent to any lands designated for future residential use. The justification report for this tower was provided in the staff report, attachment 1 to the staff report, and renderings were also supplied showing what would be visible of the tower from different vantage points. The site in question is in proximity to both Highway 11 and Highway 60, and it's surrounded by commercial properties, which it's sited to serve. The compound for the tower would be in a small area outside of the existing parking lot. These are images that were provided to show the views of the tower from various vantage points. So it would be in the back of the building at the end of the parking lot. That's from, I guess, the intersection of Center and Howland. And this is just to the west of the property. So only one comment was received in regards to the public notification, or sorry, in response to the public notification, and no objections were raised. The comments received were in support of the proposal. In addition, both the Fairy Lake Association and the Lake Vernon Association were both consulted and expressed no concerns. Having met the requirements of the Town of Huntsville's protocol with respect to the proposed telecommunications tower, staff are recommending that committee concur with the proposal and Industry Canada be advised that the town has no objections. And I'd be happy to answer any questions. And I do believe that a representative from Land Squared, who are representing Rogers, is here today too.
Thank you for that, Richard. I was going to ask if the proponent would like to speak to the application, or are they here just to be here for questions?
If the proponent is here and would like to raise their hand, I'd be happy to move them into the meeting. Chair Alcott, I do see one hand raised, so I will move them into the meeting now. As a reminder, please have your video and microphone turned on if possible, and please do confirm your name and mailing address.
Thanks, Sam. Hello.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hello, hi, Letitia?
Hi, yeah, it's me.
Okay, perfect. All right, you're all. Thanks for joining us.
No problem. Thank you for having me. So I'm on behalf of Rogers, and I appreciate Richard preparing this presentation. So I think he covered pretty much everything what Rogers is looking to do here. So this 45-meter tripole will improve the coverage along the commercial area and on Highway 60 and Highway 11. So we try to keep away as much as possible from the residential in a place that we could still provide coverage for them. So I want to mention that this tower will be for 4G LTE for now. 5G can come in the future, but that's, I think, more away from what is now. But there also will be fiber going to the tower. So there will be an improvement of Wi-Fi and data for the surrounding area as well. So I think it's pretty much that. And another thing is, I don't think there will be any lighting on the tower because it's not a subject to airport zoning, but Rogers will be submitting all the assessments to Transport Canada and NAV Canada once we receive approval for this application.
Okay, thank you for that. I do have a motion prepared, so I'm going to read it, and then I'll ask committee if they have questions. So I have a motion moved by Councillor Wiebe, seconded by Councillor Fitzgerald, that having met the requirements of the Town of Huntsville protocol with respect to the proposed telecommunications facility, as detailed in the justification report prepared by Land Squared, dated January 13th, 2021, contained in attachment 1 to this report, it is recommended that committee concur with the proposal and the Innovation in Science and Economic Development Canada be advised that the Town of Huntsville has no objections to the construction of a 45-meter tall lattice tripole style telecommunications tower at 100 Howland Drive. So with that, are there questions from committee? Yes, Councillor Stone.
Two questions. So first of all, Letitia, can you confirm once again that there's, I know it's out of your hands, but there will be no light on this?
Yeah, Rogers will be working with Transport Canada to make sure that there will be no lighting. From my experience, usually the towers would have lighting if they're within the airport zoning, but this is not the case here.
It's my understanding that height determines whether there's going to be a light on it.
Yeah, so 45, it's not that tall for a lighting as well, but we can also provide all the documents once we get the assessment from Transport Canada.
And my second question, probably to Letitia, is again through you, Chair. Did you try and share space on the tower that is 300 meters away at Muskoka Rental?
Yeah, so due to the height, there was no co-location possible on that tower. And we've been justified that on the justification report provided.
Okay. Councillor Wiebe.
Thank you, Chair Alcock. Letitia, can you tell us if there will be other services co-located on this tower once it's up?
Yes, at first it's for Rogers, but there'll be co-location available on this tower if any other national carrier wants to co-locate.
Councillor Armour.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just a comment more than anything. There is a helipad at the hospital that, for that case, you may require a light on that tower, but I guess that's yet to be seen.
Letitia?
I can take a look into that. That wasn't raised on the application, but we can definitely take a look and reach out to the helipad to see if there is a lighting will be required, because either, yeah, just to confirm, because I don't think we'll be on the way of the helipad, but we can definitely reach out to get confirmation on that.
Okay. Councillor Stone.
So personally, I'm not prepared to vote in favor of this if we don't know if there's going to be a light on it. So if we are going to vote on it, I'll vote against it, because I believe the night sky and our vistas are so important. It's not a very nice area for viewing or vistas in that area, but the lights on top do shine off the low clouds. So the light's the game changer for me.
So is there specialty lighting though that would be required? I mean, if it requires lighting, would our dark sky friendly lighting policy kick in? No? I'm going to throw that to Richard. I'd like a comment on that, please.
Yeah, our bylaw is for exterior lighting. That is true, but the regulation of these things is more at the federal level, and federal rules would apply. So our bylaw wouldn't kick in,
right,
in this instance.
Right. So they can put whatever kind of lighting they'd like on it.
For safety reasons, yeah. And I understand, and maybe Letitia can correct me, but they don't know until they make the application. So as far as process goes, or that's what I'm told. So as far as process goes, they make the application for concurrence to the municipality, and then they go through the other applications, and one of them is to gather Transport Canada.
Your worship. Thank you for that, Richard.
Thanks, Madam Chair. Just through you to Richard. Richard, is there, through our protocol to bring this forward, is there a height that by our means we know that lighting is required or not required, maybe? Like the 300 or is it a 30-meter tower over in the other area? Is it lit?
Are you referring to the one near the hospital, or the one in the other direction by the rental?
Well, I guess either one. Do we know the height of those that are up and if they have lighting or not?
I believe the one by the hospital is 30. I believe they're both 30 meters. I believe it was the same response at the time we were considering the one over by the hospital, is that there would be a subsequent application about lighting, but to Transport Canada. And I would imagine Chair Armour, or not Chair, Councillor Armour is right that due to the proximity to the helipad, it was probably going to need lighting, but I don't know if we know yet if that's the case. And I don't know actually over by the closer to Highway 11 by the Muskoka rental whether or not that one has lighting.
Councillor Stone, maybe you're about to.
The one at Muskoka rental does not have a light.
But it's a different, it's not as high as the one we're talking about today. So there could in fact be a different requirement if it's within the proximity of the helipad. I'm not sure what to do with, yes, Letitia.
Yeah, if I may, I had a recent application in Shelburne that was close to a helipad. The tower was a 50-meter lattice tripole, and they didn't require a lighting. And it was very close to the helipad. So I can confirm with Rogers and provide those documents to the township once they receive back.
Okay. That would be helpful. But in the meantime, we have a motion before us recommending support for this. Concur with the proposal. Are there any comments from other committee members that might benefit this discussion, or maybe you're comfortable with proceeding with a vote? No comment? So yes, I think Councillor Stone, you were.
I simply want to ask the question, is this a prerequisite before they can do the second part of their application and find out if there is going to be a light?
Perhaps, yes. Richard.
Well, one thing, thank you, through you, Madam Chair. I might ask Letitia if, because she has experiences across Ontario, if this is something you're hearing at the municipal level, is it possible to give a concurrence with almost like a condition that
with a proviso?
Yeah, is that something you've seen before, and is that something that we could offer to this committee?
Yes, for sure. I've seen this requirement as a condition. So prior to do any construction, we need to provide those documents to the township before. And if it's not comply with what is required, then we'll do what we can change to make sure there's, if is required, lighting, we will do the adjustments either on the height or the location.
Right, so that it won't require lighting. That's the ostensibly. So it's similar to Shelburne or the others where the lighting is not required, because that certainly sounds like the issue, right? Is that what you're saying, Letitia? Yeah, so we could make this conditional on that.
Yes.
Okay, so do we, sorry, Your Worship, you've had your hand up for a bit. Maybe you're gonna help with this.
Well, I just, thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to, I guess, suggest that if we pass this resolution, it would be subject to the tower not requiring lighting. So it would be worded that strongly, so that would that resolution be enough support for you to go ahead with your application if we put that condition on?
Yes, it will.
Okay.
So I would move to amend the motion to include what I just said, if you can remember it.
I can remember conditional on the, well, it might be worded a little.
Conditional on the tower not requiring any lighting.
Not requiring any lighting. So is Julie is probably somewhere making note of that.
Good
there
afternoon.
She is. Hi, Julie.
Through you, if I may ask just for a few moments just to draft up an amendment, and then I can share something on the screen if you would like to proceed that way.
That would be excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll excuse myself too, and I'll see if I can help Julie with that.
That would be great. Thank you, Richard. You guys are amazing. And thank you, Your Worship, for that suggestion. Councillor Wiebe?
I didn't want to let too much dead air go by.
Okay.
While we're waiting, I'm wondering if maybe to a question through you to our staff to find out how far off we are from some of the larger businesses being dark sky compliant with their lighting. I know that when we first implemented this idea, there was a certain number of years that we were going to give businesses to start to switch out lighting that was sort of terribly offensive. I'm just wondering ballpark, how far along are we in that process? That doesn't have to be answered today, but I just thought it might be something that, I don't know, worth thinking about.
Kirsten.
Thank you, your Chair Alcock. I will review that bylaw with the team. I can say that all of the new development that's being approved coming forward is all compliant with the bylaw that was passed in 2016. And I believe it had a 10-year window for
that sounds right,
existing development to
Yeah.
be brought into compliance, but I will confirm and bring that information back.
Great, thank you. And it's okay.
So,
Councillor Weeb?
okay, I'll say it. I want to be at Home Depot when it comes into effect.
Yeah. Okay, we should all be there. I think, aren't the auto dealerships, are they compliant? They're compliant, right? Because they're not, or they had 10 years too.
That's correct.
Right, they had 10 years too. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that'd be good to know when that's up. That was a while, we should be able to remember, no? When did that come into? That was last term.
2016.
Yeah, it was January of 2016, I believe, that bylaw passed.
Wow, so they've got a few years left. Oh well. Okay. Councillor Armour.
Thank you, Chair Alcock. I just thought I'd jump in the conversation. I just did some quick Googling on lights for cell towers and areas, and because that area is so lit up right now, it may not require one.
Right.
And if it's not in the direct flight path of the helicopter for the helipad, it will not require one either. So it's a good chance it's going to not need one.
Right. But then if that area is currently well lit up, but in a few years' time, it might have to change, right? Given our dark sky friendly policy. No?
It could.
Anyway, thank you for doing that, Councillor Armour. Good one. Staying on top during me, that's excellent. All right. We're losing people. We're losing members of the committee. There she is. See, we notice when you come and you go. Just saying. I don't know. Seemed like it was one line, but what do I know? Julie, are you guys close? Okay. Richard, you're there. Julie, okay, perfect.
Yes. So through you, I'll be able to share the motion. My apologies. I was just having a little bit of computer issue. So I think I have it ready to go now.
Okay, perfect. Great.
Thanks.
Pop her up. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to have Councillor Stone, you'll move, or sorry, Mayor Terziano, moved by Mayor Terziano, seconded by Councillor Stone. It is recommended that the following words be added, conditional on no lighting being mounted on the tower. Questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor? And that carries. Great. So thank you. And will you pop up the revised, Julie? Okay. You want me to read it, or I'll just read it quickly. Moved by Mayor Terziano, seconded by Councillor Stone, that having met the requirements of the Town of Huntsville protocol with respect to the proposed telecommunications facility as detailed in the justification report prepared by Land Square dated January 13, 2021, contained in attachment 1 to this report, it is recommended that committee concur with the proposal in the Innovation Science and Economic Development Canada be advised that the Town of Huntsville has no objections to the construction of a 45-meter tall lattice tripole style telecommunications tower at 100 Howland Drive, conditional on no lighting being mounted on the tower. Okie dokie. All the questions, comments, all those in favor, that's carried. Thank you guys. And thank you, Letitia, for coming today. That was helpful and it was a good discussion.
No problem. I appreciate the time.
Okay. And Richard and Julie for your quick response. Thank you for that. Okay. With that, we are moving to new business. Anybody have new business? None identified. We'll quickly move to general information. And Richard, you'd like to give us a verbal update on the community planning permit.
Thank you. Through you, Madam Chair. Staff continue to meet with consultants to develop a draft bylaw, community planning permit bylaw. We are meeting on a weekly basis, sometimes more, to review draft language and tweak it here and there. The plan is to have that draft bylaw available in a whole form for staff to do one last review, kind of end of this month, early July, and then present that draft bylaw to council, actually a special council meeting, so that we can have the draft bylaw endorsed for further public consultation at open houses and public meetings. And also there'll be additional stakeholder workshops on that draft bylaw. So that work is ongoing, and you should see something next month by way of a draft bylaw to look at.
Thanks, Richard. So I missed something. I'm confirming. So the special meeting the next month, is it going to planning and then the special council, or it's going straight to the special council? I think that was what you said. I just wanted to confirm.
Yeah, and maybe Kirsten can jump in, but I think it's due to timing. We have had some delays,
right,
but we want to keep this moving. So I don't think it'll be ready for planning committee, okay, but it can go in at the end of July and keep somewhat on schedule. So that was the idea.
And it's probably a good thing that it would go to all of council anyway, since everybody will have, you know, lots of interest in it. So that makes a whole lot of sense to me. But hopefully in July sometime there will then be a special council meeting just to deal with the community planning permit, right? Perfect. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
I know.
Did you have anything else
what you
to add,
said,
Chris?
Richard. I just need to mirror it back, you know. Just
I was just going to throw it over to Kirsten if she had anything else to add.
perfect.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I was just going to add that we would anticipate that the public meeting that would be associated with the first draft of the bylaw would be a council meeting as compared to planning committee only, and that we'd have to coordinate and see what dates work for everyone, but that will be after the yeah, the bylaw is reviewed by this group as well.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. All right. Are there any questions of Richard other than that? No? Okay. The next item, staff delegated approvals. Any questions about that? No. So seeing none, I can move. I have a motion moved by Councillor Armour, seconded by Councillor Stone. It is recommended that we do hereby adjourn at 1:36 p.m. All those in favor? And that carries unanimously, I will say, just by the by. Okay,